we go to the opening scene where Wiggins gets into the boat car with Linklater in the back, and this guy driving, and he just starts going off. This is before the dreaming starts, and he just says, "Hey, man, it's all about, maybe in life you're going to get the box of crayons with 8 crayons. Maybe you're going to get the box of crayons with 16. But it's all about what you do with the crayons that you're given. It doesn't make a difference if it's 8 or 16 or someone's got more than you, or, you get the one with the sharpener in the back of the box, which I never got growing up. I always wanted that. The 64, I never got them. But it's all about what you do with what you've been given. Don't worry about, staying inside the lines. Color right off the page if you want to, he says. And I was just like, wow, like looking back on it now, 25 years later, a lot of wisdom for somebody so young and a director like this to have understood this. And, we see these recurring themes in his films where he talks about the choices that you make.
Right.
We talked about it in Dazed to Confused, and we talked about it with Orson Welles. Wells, and it's a recurring thing about choices and individuality, and doing the best you can with what you've got.
Boyhood.
And he had to be young to also come up with that philosophy of draw outside the lines and draw, and because if it was from somebody older, in some cases they say, no, the lines are important, stay within here. I think that's what brings it to this movie, because it's looking at the world in a dreamlike fashion, but also with the eyes of a youth.
Yeah. Well, he's definitely a young guy back then, very idealistic. And this is like almost like a last hurrah of idealism before he gets serious as a director and moves on to some other really different things.
I think that what happens when you see a movie like his recent film, and if please, somebody go see Nouvelle Vague on Netflix, please, for God's sake.
I'm watching it now.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations, kudos. But if you see something like Blue Moon, it's still about choices, but it's also showing that sometimes the choices you make, you can do a lot of damage to yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Like you individually still get to make those choices, but sometimes those choices can really fuck you up.